is chromatography. Okay, and we see that how the chromatography is a very important topic for GPAT. Now, what is the definition of chromatography? It's a laboratory technique. Chromatography is a laboratory technique, first of all, for the separation of mixture, for the separation of mixture of structurally similar compound, mixture of structurally similar compound, they are known as analytes. Okay, so these analytes always dissolve in mobile phase. Okay, dissolve in mobile phase. So laboratory technique for the separation of mixture of structurally similar compounds on the basis of their there means the analytes components. Okay, their relative affinity towards a stationary phase. So the very important understanding of this definition is there are two important points in this chromatographic definition. First of all, the separation of mixture of structurally similar compound. Okay, so if the compound is not structurally similar, they have a wide range of solubility. Like example, if the solid, two different solid, they have a different solubility altogether, so you can easily separate them by the help of filtration. Okay, or decantation if it is the solid and liquid. But if both the structure is quite similar and they have a narrow range of solubility, that means they can dissolve to one or two solvent easily. So that's the reason that it is very difficult to separate them. Now the structurally similar compounds, and these compounds dissolve in the mobile phase, and this can be separated on the basis of their relative affinity. This is the next important points on relative affinity towards a stationary phase. Now I have a stationary phase over here. I'll draw stationary phase. Okay, and you have also applied the mobile phase, which is passed through the stationary phase. Okay, this mobile phase can be passed through the stationary phase. This is stationary phase, SP I'll write. Okay, and this is your mobile phase. Now the mobile phase carry, suppose the component X and Y. Okay, now stationary phase can be polar, can be non-polar. Like if I take silica gel, it contains a silanol functional group. Silanol, this is known as silanol functional group. Okay, this silica gel. Now this molecule, if the polarity of X is greater than Y, okay, so that means while passing through the stationary phase, X is capable to form hydrogen bond with the stationary phase more readily than the Y. Y may be forming the hydrogen bonding later, because first X is going to adsorb. So now there are two important concepts over here involved. One is they has to partition. There is a partition coefficient. There should be partition of the sample from the liquid phase to solid phase. This is your liquid phase. Okay, and this is the solid phase. The stationary phase is solid over here. Okay, so first thing important, there should be partition, and the second thing is the formation of bond, that is nothing but your adsorption. The second thing is adsorption. These two are important phenomena in separating the structurally similar compound with the help of chromatography. Now if you see, X is first retained and Y is going to elute first, because the affinity of Y is less towards the stationary phase. So it is very important to understand the principle of chromatography now. principle. What is the principle? I just read out. For the separation of mixture, the analyte component should partition from mobile phase to stationary phase as per their partition coefficient in order to adsorb on stationary phase. Okay, fine. Then after that, various component of the analytes present in mobile phase should be partially soluble for adsorption. Why? Now X and Y, if they are, this is the mobile phase, right? If they are solubilized fully in the mobile phase, they will completely elute out, they will not retain on the stationary phase. That's why the choosing of solvent is very important skill in chromatographic separation. That's the mobile phase, the selection of mobile phase, the making of mobile phase is a very important fact. Now, so that's the thing that we have written over here. The various component of analytes present in the mobile phase should be partially soluble for adsorption on the stationary phase. Otherwise, highly soluble compound fully eluted out instead of retaining on the stationary phase. Okay. So what, as a result, we won't be getting any separation. So there's a thing, the very important fact. Now, the thing is, you see the interaction is hydrogen bonding over here. So because the stationary phase is polar. Now when the stationary phase is polar, we have to select a mobile phase comparatively non-polar. Okay, this is known as normal phase chromatography. Normal phase chromatography. But what happens if we take stationary phase non-polar? So let me give you an example of stationary phase of non-polar. The same kind of, I'll write. Now stationary phase. Now previously I had silanol. Okay, silanol group. Now I am adding silica and the long chain of carbon CH2N CH3. So this is become your non-polar stationary phase. Non-polar stationary phase. Example of this stationary phase is octadodecyl silane. Octadodecyl silane. Okay. Normally octadodecyl 18. So it is C18. So total number of carbon is 18. So if you see, it become a non-polar stationary phase. In the non-polar stationary phase, we use the mobile phase polar. And if you see our solubility video, I mentioned over the various range of mobile phase, the solvent, okay, and their dielectric constant, how to select a suitable solvent for the chromatography. Over there it is mentioned. Okay. Now after that, you coming to the instrumentation after principle. Let us go to the instrumentation. So in instrumentation, first is your number 1 mobile phase, number 2 stationary phase, and number 3 detectors. These 3 things we will see. Okay. Now the important thing is mobile phase. We have an different mobile phase as per heliotropic. Spelling is correct. Heliotropic. Okay. Heliotropic series. What is that? In over here, the mobile phase is selected from the lipophilic to hydrophilic. Okay, like you can say, for example, hexane will be first. The mobile phase to be selected. If the analyte is solubilized in hexane, is okay. Otherwise, we'll move to the next solvent, that is benzene. After benzene, dichloromethane. Then we'll go to chloroform. Then ether. Then ethyl acetate. Then acetone. Then acetonitrile or dioxane. And then ethanol, methanol, water, pyridine, and acetic acid. So these are the way we can understand the mobile phase. See, after the selection of mobile phase, the stationary phase is important fact. So either stationary phase we can select silica gel, Sometimes we use gypsum and some fluorogenic material, so silica gel GF or silica gel only G. Okay, that is for gypsum. Okay, then we have now ODS. Okay, that is for the, now when the stationary phase is non-polar and mobile phase is polar, this chromatography is known as reverse phase chromatographic technique. Okay, reverse phase. So it is very useful when my analytes are polar in nature. Polar means they are soluble, they are hydrophilic in nature. Because why? My mobile phase is hydrophilic. The mobile phase nature is hydrophilic. Okay. And in case of normal phase, my mobile phase was lipophilic. Okay. So in that case, my hydrophilic compounds, my drugs, they are soluble in hydrophilic compounds. So it is very easy for us to separate with a reverse phase chromatography rather than going for a normal phase chromatography.